Welcome to UFC Austin Fight Week. Let's discuss the main event of the evening where we have a lightweight matchup that should answer a number of questions. Both of these fighters are ready to compete. Let's get into it. Arman Tsarukyan, 27 years of age. We saw what he was made of when he took on Islam Makhachev in his UFC debut. He put Makhachev through a tough test, and Makhachev came out the other side. Now he's taking on Beneil Dariush, who now is an elder statesman in the lightweight division, coming off of a brutal loss against Charles Oliveira, where he was having some initial success, and then the tables turned quickly, and we saw Dariush, his striking defense came back to haunt him, and he was put out. Dariush, 22-5-1 overall record. Beneil Dariush opened as the betting favorite here, and now you see how this line has moved tremendously. We have Arman Tsarukyan sitting at a minus 290 betting favorite. Let's get back to the Dariush side. So we know against Mateusz Gamrot, he brought the wrestling pace, chain wrestling. He's going to be up against a chain wrestler in Arman Tsarukyan, who Arman Tsarukyan, believe it or not, had a ice hockey background and converted and developed the mixed martial arts game. He's an Armenian fighter who's fighting out of Russia. And Arman Tsarukyan, we saw against Joel Alvarez. We've seen against Joaquim Silva, gave him a much stiffer test than most people were ready for. You saw Tsarukyan have to dig deep. It was almost as if he was surprised that Joaquim Silva was standing there in front of him as the fight wore on. And then he was able to turn on the jets, Tsarukyan, and take Joaquim Silva out of there. But this fight has the potential to be a barn burner, to be a fight where we may see scrambles on the mat. We may see some a suplex or two. We may see a number of submission attempts on the Dariush side. And Tsarukyan, we've seen him push to the limit. I believe Tsarukyan did win that fight against Gamrot when they fought. And also the fight against Damir Ismagulov. That was another very impressive performance from Arman Tsarukyan. Now, Dariush, he was careening towards a title shot and ended up getting sidetracked by Charles Dubronx Oliveira. Now, this fight, you see that initially Dariush opened as the favorite. I like the Tsarukyan side. If you were able to get in close to even odds, even under 2-1 odds. Now he's blown out to a minus 290 betting favorite. Tsarukyan, I expect the much younger fighter to be able to push a hellacious pace early. Now, the veteran savviness of Beneil Dariush is something to be concerned about here if you are on the Tsarukyan side, because we've seen Dariush time and time again throughout the course of his UFC career. He's been able to come out the other side victorious through his grappling and through his smarts. He's an extremely cerebral fighter. Listen to his interviews. He talks a great game, and then he's able to go out there and execute most of the time. Now, you look up and down Arman Tsarukyan's record. Granted, he did give Islam Makhachev a tough test in his debut, but he's also continued to grow every time out. I believe that the fight against Gamrot really helped test his mettle and solidify him as one of the top contenders in the division. Now, this fight here, I'm going to be picking Arman Tsarukyan to come out the other side victorious in front of a hostile Austin crowd. I expect a lot of action, a lot of scrambles, and Dariush, I think that the fight against Dubronx showed us that there are chinks in his armor and that he may be questioning himself at this stage in his career, Beneil Dariush. I know he is a competitor who's going to fight tooth and nail until the end, but we've also seen Dariush at times against Drakkar Klose and others. He can he can throw down, but he also it gets very labored out there, especially if you're getting into a striking war. And Tsarukyan's going to be throwing those body kicks early and often. Does Dariush have what it takes to catch those body kicks and take Tsarukyan down to the mat? I don't think he does. And the other thing is we have Dariush here. I know earlier in his career, he actually made some serious strides on the feet. He was very competitive against Edson Barbosa, and he ended up getting caught by a flying knee there. I don't think Tsarukyan possesses that type of explosiveness from a flying knee, but he does, Tsarukyan, have the killer instinct against Christos Giagos and others. And I think that that's going to be on full display here. I don't think that this fight's going the distance. And I think that Tsarukyan will come out victorious here. I'm siding with Arman Tsarukyan to get the victory. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Remember to go get what's yours and have a great rest of your week. Let's go.